What's up, fellow lords of gaming? Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to jump in. We're going to take a look at some of the updates and the hero balance adjustments for the game. I want to kind of give you guys the loops about those, and then we'll take a look at some of the new systems that they have in the game as well. Number one, Times Square is now a new thing inside the game, so you can load into this PvE specific environment as whomever you want to. So we can load in as Gambit, for instance. We can load in as Gambit, and this is a completely free like PvE environment for you to load into. It's Times Square. I'm not exactly sure of the point of it. There's not really a whole lot in terms of, you can see who all the players that are in the lobbies and stuff like that. I don't know the whole reason for this, but you know, you can see people here are pretty excited about some things, and it's just kind of just a zone to just kind of relax and hang out in, I guess, you know, depending on what it is that you want to do. I don't see myself using this mode quite that as much as that, but hey, nonetheless, you know, you're there. You can see the hub menu is very simple, not a whole lot there. But if maybe you want to join the hub because you're looking for a 6-stack, or you know, looking for one, and you want to see if you get along with some people, I can see how that might work. We'll have to see ultimately how that pans out inside the game nonetheless. On top of this, we do have some additional customization. So now our home backgrounds can be rotated, and we can change those basically on the fly as you choose. So you can see it's added to the random equip list, and I can just basically add these and equip those and say, hey, yeah, you know, like these are the screens that I want, and you know, put them in random rotation if that's something you want to. So just, you know, it's up to you whether or not you like how you do this or whatever, but I to be honest with you, I quite like it. So I don't mind this at all. I hope that they make this so that way as we get screens that it's more than just going to be the 6, but I like the added rotation of just having some of that individuality basically in the background of that. So good enough overall over there. So we'll have to see how that pans out. Next up, we do have some new effects inside of the game. So you see we got multiversal view just for changing your background. We got unlock all love is the battlefield gallery cards, colorful words, use the texture emojis and stuff like that. And then we got some new ones obviously for Gambit inside the heroic journey, land 3 KOs with a single use of the Raging Royal Flush as Gambit assists Hawkeye in landing 1 KO. So that's there nonetheless, right? Outside of this, we had some new store items. Go check my previous videos and you can see what we have there going on. And then next up, what we want to do is we really want to take a look at these hero balance adjustments, because there's quite a bit that's there inside of the game. So we want to take a look at these overall. So number one, starting off the bat with Angela. So Angela joins the game previous season, and I think she made a big impact on the flying meta, and you know, acted as a nail in the side of Ultron and Iron Man, which I thoroughly enjoyed in my opinion. It kept a lot of people busy because, you know, you have flying Spider-Man's all over the place, Venom, and I thought she was a great addition to the game. Took us a little while to master her, but essentially we got some changes to her abilities that are coming. So good stuff there, right? I'm not going to complain. Number one, the biggest one is what they've done with Heaven's Retribution. So her ultimate ability is the health of that spear is now going from 600 to 800 health. Should make it harder for people to just take it down immediately off the rip. They also increased the movement speed on Assassin's Charge, and the accelerated dash state from 16 to 18 milliseconds. I don't know, like I have to play with her to see exactly what that looks like. One of the bigger changes to the Vanguard class that's coming is in Captain America, and this is a bit of a kit rework if you really want to look at it that way. So inside of here, Freedom Charge, his ultimate ability, you're going to notice now that the allies are going to gain ultimate ability charge acceleration. So they did this on Gambit as well. His ultimate ability basically when cast is going to allow your allies ultimate ability to charge up faster if they're in proximity. This is really cool, and I think it should impact. It gives the Vanguard class some type of utility while also giving the Strategist class a greater utility into what is really a strategist role instead of just being a support healer role. I like this addition and change overall. I think it's really good. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out ultimately. We'll just have to wait and see. Next up, Groot is here for it, and so his abilities have also been changed as well. So the specific one here is the Ironwood Wall. So there's a new effect on here which is unstoppable. So they're gonna, any enemy or ally that's within inside this area is going to gain the unstoppable status when they're within 15 minutes of an awakened Ironwood Wall. So group gains unstoppable while near all Ironwood walls. So we'll have to see how this works out overall inside the game and how much of an impact it has. I'm looking forward to seeing what's up with that. Meanwhile, we get our boy Bruce Banner Hulk. He's get some additions, changes to his kits as well. So Gamma Burst, yep. So Gamma Burst now has the ability to reduce indestructible guard cooldowns upon hit. So this is pretty good overall. Like I'm not mad at this at all. I would like to see some additional changes to him. Like I want to see Hulk have like the ability to regen health the same way Wolverine does or something like that, because he does have a health regen pool. I think we having added some of that stuff to some of the characters would be really good. Magneto is also receiving some changes. Let's go into the Vanguards. This way it makes it a little bit easier. So Magneto, along with getting a new uniform, he's getting some changes to his abilities. So what they've essentially done is Metal Bulwark and Iron Bulwark, they used to share cooldowns. So what they've done now is they've split those apart. So activating one isn't going to send the other into cooldown. I like this overall because it gives a little bit more utility to his role, where he's just not sat inside of here and you basically get one skill for the price of two, essentially. That did make sense. However, the one thing that I'm upset about is that they reduced the Metal Bulwark and Iron Bulwark's shield values from 250 to 200. The shields don't last that long, so I didn't really find the need for them to do that, but nevertheless, it is what it is. Somebody's shooting you, you essentially got a shield that's the equivalency of having a strategist character standing in front of you and taking them hits. So overall, happy about that. Nonetheless, that they've made some changes. I still want him to basically receive some changes as well. Meanwhile, Penny Parker is probably going to get an effect on her abilities that I'm like really interested to see how it's going to change the landscape of the way the game works. So essentially what they've done here is allies who are inside of her spider webs, they're now going to receive the same healing over time and movement boost effects that she had. So movement boost for allies is 25%, healing is 15 per second, and the allies excess healing converts into bonus health up to 25. She was already a menace and people were banning her in writ large. Now she's gonna basically give everybody that same ability to basically heal. This is protection for the backline like no other. So here you go, you can see it, spiderweb snare. While in the spider web, Penny and allies gain healing over time and movement boost. Excess healing converts into bonus health. This should be really good. I'm dying to see how that works out. Really good updates there. The Thing is also getting some changes as well. So let's take a look at his abilities. So Embattled Leap, right? So what they've done with Embattled Leap now is when he jumps towards allies or jumps towards targets, he now grants a 20% damage reduction to all allies within the area of effect and 5 meters of his landing, and then reduce damage reductions itself from 25 to 20%. Okay, Battle Blitz, where he jumps towards, he's now going to add a vulnerability effect of 20% to all enemies within 5 meters of the landing point as well. So one of the things they did do though is they reduced Stonemaker's base damage from 90 to 55, and they removed the 50 bonus health that he gains during the ability activation. So the new effect, however, that they've given to this to mitigate that reduction is that the deal the bonus damage equal to 8% of an enemy's max health per hit, and then gain bonus health equal to the damage dealt up to 100. So really good change there overall for Stonemaker. So we'll have to see how those adjustments change the landscape of the Vanguard class. As you can see, they've added more utility to the role. I'm hoping that this is going to inspire more people to get. I obviously play a lot of Vanguard. I just play a lot of Vanguard. Next up, we move over to the Duelist, and we start off with Hawkeye. So essentially, Hawkeye, his precision, and what they've done with him is very simple. Archer's Focus was his passive ability. What they did with this is the bonus damage from this has gone from 75 to 90. Very simple inside of here. You know, Clint didn't need very much at this point. I'm pretty sure other people would argue with me till they're blue in the face. Mr. Fantastic, however, reflexive rubber I love this. Reflexive rubber can now be used during inflated state after reaching 100 elasticity. They removed the 350 bonus health on entering the inflated state, and now he gains 350 maximum health and a one-time heal of 350, which is removed upon exiting the inflated state as well. Next up, we gotta take a look at the one, the only Jean Phoenix. Love this uniform better than I love her base uniform. At some point, they got to change that damn thing because it is ugly as hell. But all they've done with her for her abilities is that Cosmic Flames. They've adjusted the fall off on this skill from 30 meters from 60% to 75%. So we'll have to see how much that affects her, but I don't think it's going to affect her too badly. Spider-Man, Peter Parker. I love that dude. At some point, I'm going to learn how to play him. It's just not in my cards. Everybody picks DPS, and at this point, I don't like to fight over it, to be perfectly honest. But anyways, what they've done with him is Web Cluster. They reduced the energized time from 2.5 to 2 seconds. Cool, no problem there. His amazing combo, they've increased the damage from 60 to 70, so that should make him a little bit more. Now, there was other changes to him that were done as well, where they said they wanted to smooth out his animations and things like that to make it, you know, the combos feel a little bit more fluid. I'd have to rely on any Spider-Man players to basically realize what those things actually look like. All right. Now, our girl Squirrel Girl, I'm not exactly sure why, but she received a buff. I don't think this chick needed it. But anyways, what they did is Burst Acorn's damage has been increased from 100 to 110. The lethality was always there. I don't know that she necessarily needed it, to be perfectly honest. Storm is also getting some adjustments as well. Essentially, weather control. They've done this. The boost for Thunder's damage for weather's control is now going to go for allies from 10 to 12%. So nice little boost. And then the Goddess boost as well. That has gone up from 12 to 15% to allies as well. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I like the character a lot. I haven't gotten a lot of chances to play as her. She is definitely on the top of my list for characters in the DPS pool that I want to play as. Next up, we got to look at Frankencastle, right? So Frankencastle, they've done a little bit with him here, where essentially, since he's no longer going to be inside the team up bonus, he's going to gain some raw power. Essentially, everything they do this all the time, where everything that they did now comes back that was there from the bonus. So his base health is going from 275 to 300, and they adjusted Adjudication's maximum fall off at 40 meters from 70 to 85%, and then they increased the pellets fired per deliverance from 14 to 16. So, you know, not bad adjustments there overall. We'll have to see. Wolverine's next up in the list, and he's received some changes as well. So essentially, on his abilities, what we have is Savage Claw, his base ability. They increased the percentage damage for each point of rage from 0.045 to 0.057. So it doesn't necessarily seem like it's significant until you're just getting savage clawed by this dude to death, right? Meanwhile, the Vicious Rampage, they've done the same. So they increased the percentage points from rage as well for that one. And then the Feral Leap, they decreased the cooldown from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. I think this all was like, some of these things were there already before. We'll have to see how it looks ultimately in the game. I don't play him. I don't really intend on playing him, to be perfectly honest either. Next up, we got to take a look at our Strategist, because there's been some changes here as well. So Adam Warlock, he's getting new Magus uniform, and I'm happy about that new Magus uniform, and it's free inside the battle pass. So really cool look for him. I just wish to God they got rid of his staff. So first off the bat, Soul Flight. Excuse me, they increased the soul flight speed from 6 meters per second to 12 meters per second. And then Karmic Revival, his ultimate ability, they reduced the cost, energy cost from 4,700 to 4,500. And then they increased the ally detection of that ability as well from 30 to 35 meters. pretty cool. I like the increase on the range. I wish they would have just put it at 40 meters, but they test it out. If you still haven't figured out and you're still trying to wonder why you're not necessarily playing as good characters, I got some videos coming out about that range and the adjustment inside, understanding where you're playing within the range inside these teams. Anyways, but we'll go past that. Next up, our boy, you can see like I've got the most hours in Cloak and Dagger, and I'm here for it. So they basically upgraded Cloak and Dagger by just increasing their base health from 250 to 275. Make full use and advantage of that. Hopefully we're not dying within 2 hits anymore. We'll have to see how it pans out ultimately. Invisible Woman, she's got some upgrades as well. So they increase orb projection, the hit damage from 25 to 30, the projectile's maximum range from 30 to 35, and the speed from 120 to 150. I like the idea of that. It just makes her a little bit quicker on getting those items out, getting her hits out the door. They also increase force physics length from 30 to 35 meters, so now we're in a lot more effective range for that. Guardian Shield has received a really nice bonus here. So essentially this has a new effect. So if no Guardian Shield is present and you press the recall key, it now deploys the shield in front of Invisible Woman. I love that. I love it. I love it. I like it a lot. So let's take a look at Loki. He's next up on the list. He's got some changes, probably not enough in my opinion. I really want to level him up. He's one of my favorite characters, not in the game, but outside of the game, inside the comics. So they increased his base health, gave him more survivability, so he's going from 250 to 275 as well. And then they adjusted Mystical Missile, so the damage fall off from at 3 meters is going to go from 50 to 80%. And then it also now has a new effect. So you can see here, it now heals now heals directly hit allies for an extra 10 health. So I feel like this is just a change from what they originally did by nerfing somewhat of his heal effect, and now they've given it back. We'll have to see how that looks like overall. Rocket Raccoon is next up. So his abilities inside here, be right back. Guess what? They reduced the cooldown from 45 to 40 seconds. I like this. It's going to make him make his utility as a strategist even more that important, because you're going to be looking at this rocket on the field and thinking, hey, I just killed this guy, but guess what? They're right back. They increased the repair mode as well. So in repair mode, the maximum count is going to from 5 to 7, and then the projectile speed of it is going from 60 to 80 meters per second. They also increased the bombard mode, the projectile speed from 150 to 180. So a lot of rounds downrange on that one if you are able to do that. Last but not least, what we want to check out is the team ups that they've added inside of this update, because they're probably pretty important to understand. So essentially some of the new team ups that they've got is Blade of Khonshu. That's joining the game, and we have this right here. So this is a team up between Moon Knight and Blade, and you can see here essentially, as Moon Knight's going to serve as the anchor, so he gains a 5% boost to his damage output. Dude didn't really need it, but Blade, he gets a new effect with called Eclipse Edge. So you can see when he affects this, he does Ancestral Sword and the ability to team up with him. It's just going to turn into more slashes essentially. At the end of the slash, you see you got 4 additional slices basically between them, and it bounces forth between enemies. I think this is going to be really cool for crowd control, especially if you can get to the back line, because you're going to have triple strategists in the back row, and Blade can disrupt all of that with this Billy just bouncing off the back. So we'll have to see how that looks like overall. Next up, guys, we got to take a look at Explosive Entanglement. All right, so Explosive Entanglement is the new team up with our new team up character, where you essentially got Magneto and Gambit inside of here. So Gambit serves as the anchor for this. As a team up anchor, Gambit gets a 5% increase in his healing effects. I don't see a reason why we're not going to see this team up a lot at play. There's going to be a lot of people playing as Magneto no matter what, and Gambit as a strategist, especially if the heals are on point, should really make a difference. So Magneto is going to get the ability where his Royal Blade is going to be imbued with the cards from Gambit, and basically get that out there. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the visual on it more than anything else. Next up, we got to take a look at Sword of Duality, and that is with Cloak and Dagger and Hawkeye. This one doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but Cloak and Dagger is basically the anchor for the team. Hawkeye is going to get the Moonlit Slash. So essentially you can see the katana comes out and it basically, you know, it's like a wipe effect. I don't know, like it's a decent enough ability. I don't know what this team up is. Like I feel like this needs to be adjusted. Like there's not enough information here on exactly how this is working. We're not really seeing that Cloak and Dagger is getting the bonus that they should from having a team up. So it's just like you just put something in there just for Hawkeye to basically have another off-used ability. It is what it is. I guess it is what it is. You know what I mean? Primal Flame has been adjusted. So now we got Black Widow. She's going to be joining inside Primal Flame. And essentially what they've done with this is she's got the Phoenix Force empowered bullets inside of here. And you can see that when they explode, what she'll be able to do is just heal allies in the blast radius. This is what I mean by it seems like they're testing out the abilities to not put the heal inside the strategist class so much, and I would like to see this continue, because like I said, playing strategist just feels really off because all you feel like you're doing is healing, so nobody wants to play that. And there are ways for you to incorporate healing like abilities that could change the landscape of battle with other characters and give other characters type utility presence inside the game, and it makes a whole lot of sense if you ask me, but we'll have to see how that ultimately pans out. Some of the ones that have been removed and retired, you can see here, Operation Microchip no longer in the game, and then Lunar Force is no longer in the game. Mental Projection that is still inside the game, but Magneto has essentially been removed from there, so it's just Emma and Psylocke inside of that tree now. So just look at that one for Rose. That's everything in the patch notes for the balance adjustments inside the game. Let me know what you guys think about these balance adjustments and how they affect the heroes that you play. I'm really excited about some of these. I'm definitely excited about playing Gambit. I'm probably going to stream quite a bit tomorrow. If you guys jump on, join me over on Twitch or YouTube where I'll be streaming. Until next time, guys, peace.